And at this time, we're going to transition and go over to Matt King with the standard.
Oh, there I am.
There you are. Hello,
There you
Matt.
are.
How are you?
Hey. How are you?
Good. We're all good. We're just hanging out, waiting for the big finale here today at the Definiti Retirement Academy with the standard.
Yeah, expectations. Great expectations here on a Tuesday afternoon, huh?
Yeah. So I will pass the floor to you. Thank you, Matt.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Now, let's see if I can follow John's lead with sharing screens and such. Um, Put the bar pretty high, John, but let's see how that goes.
Oh, I set that baby real low, my man.
We're gonna have some fun this afternoon. All right, share screen. Let's do. Okay, cool. We'll roll with this one anyways. If you see my notes, that's quite all right. So we have 16 slides to go through, but before I do, I would like to say thank you to the folks at Definiti. Rarely do we get the opportunity to kind of partner together on webinars and get a little bit of a commercial out there about us, but doing it with folks that you really like working with, like Elke and Thomas and John and others who are on the call from Definiti. It's always a pleasure. So my name is Matt King. As Elke said, I am the National Director of TPA Connection and Business Development here at the Standard. Today we're going to go through, we've got about, I think 15-ish minutes, 20 minutes, or at least until they turn off the lights on me, to go through what we're calling what's going on at the Standard, right? So we'll give you a little bit of a, let's come on, advanced slides. There we go. So as many of you know, back on October 17th, 2022, I know that date if it was my birthday anniversary, it's kind of ingrained. The Standard entered into an agreement with Securian to purchase retirement plan businesses there. Funny side story that I'll give you, and it's one that hopefully you'll laugh, because I did chuckle a little bit on the 17th of October. I had my first round of working at the Standard. I was here from 2015 to 2019, left, went to build the TPA program over at Securian, and funny how things work, we're back for round two. So I'm thrilled to be back, excited to see that they've continued here at the Standard, really focusing on growing the TPA side of the house. But as you can imagine, we've got a lot of stuff, right, going on to integrate two companies, even though they may be on the smaller side. There's a lot of stuff going on to make sure that this is a smooth transition, and it is something that is a valuable and it's just a really overall fantastic experience. Sorry, a little tongue tied there. At the end of the day, for not only TPAs but advisors, plan participants, etc. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, we coined the phrase, and I'm sure it's one you've heard before. It's better together, right? You've got two very like-minded companies that have come together. It's one where we're really focused on. It's not a technology purchase, right? It's one of culture. It's one of a consistent quality service experience. Some great adjectives there on the screen. We're striving for a seamless and thoughtful transition as we work through all of this. We're a best of both worlds type of product growth and enhancements. I'm based in Connecticut, so kind of close to the shoreline. Summertime treat here is obviously getting some lobster rolls. There's a great restaurant. If you're ever in Glastonbury, Connecticut, go to Max Oyster Bar or Max Fish and have the best of both worlds lobster roll. Here's why. Some people like the lobster roll with the butter. Some people like it with mayonnaise as a salad. Yeah, you guessed it. They put it together. So that's what you're going to find. Now, I do want you to get hungry, I guess, when you think of this merger. But anyways, think of it as things getting better together. All these great services that Securian had combined with what the Standard had coming together. We also get broader service coverage across the country, both from an RM perspective and also from a sales perspective. Okay, so that's a little bit of what's going on. Now, this is what the company looks like together. So, the Standard was founded in 1906, Portland, Oregon. We now have 3,488 employees. The company as a whole, besides retirement plan, has a bunch of other divisions, but we won't talk about them today. The retirement services branch was founded in 1932. That was actually 1 year earlier than Securian, which was 1933. Average plan size of 7.3 million, participant count of 178, 4.38 AUM, and a bunch of other stats there as well. So we're definitely positioned nicely in the retirement plan space as a provider. Next slide. The cups, right? These are certainly how we measure ourselves against the competition, and also make sure that we're serving our customers in the best way. So as you can see here on this screen, but this is 22, right? So my guess is we'll probably be much higher in 23, even with a merger going on. But 17 best in class awards, 2 service recommendations, number 1 net promoter score, 4 on the that's for 25 to 50 million in the lower than 5 space, number 4, and then 5 to 25, number 6. So it's always important to have those cups. We certainly hang our hats on these and love to see the 17, but again, we want more. It's always good to have. As part of the transition, there's a couple things that have gone on that I want to give you updates on. Right, there's a really cool thing that the ARA did. Right, they asked us if we as a company would kind of let them inside the deal. Right, so what went on before the 2 companies coming together. This is a little plug for 2 folks that did this podcast, and certainly we can provide the link to it after if you're interested. It's also, I believe, out on the ARA website. But this is where AJ Ijaz from the Standard, along with Ted Schmelzley from Securian, had basically a sit-down conversation, right, with each other, and they were interviewed, but they really dug into the why. Why did this happen? Was it a technology thing? Was it a plan count thing? Was it anything like that? And the answer to both of those was no, it was a people thing. So, and it was a culture thing as well. So a little plug for these 2 gentlemen. They did a great job. If you've got a few minutes, I don't think it's a very long podcast conversation, but it's a pretty solid one to take a listen to as you're sitting there at lunch one day or driving in the car. It's a pretty good listen. So please take advantage of that. Next up, milestones. So our first milestone in terms of the merger together was bringing 2 sales organizations into one, right? Essentially carving up the map of the US, doing territories, getting down to zip codes and who covers what advisor, and et cetera, et cetera. So the good news is that happened. We hit that milestone on April 1st. So outside of a few products, we have an integrated sales team selling on the Standard platform. Now, with the size of the type of, where it breaks everything down, couldn't fit that on the slide. So I just made this look here with all the pretty colors of the US. But if you do have any questions at all on who is my Standard wholesaler, you should know at this point. If you don't, you can certainly reach out to me, or you can work backwards in a good way, through your Definiti sales rep to find out who you should connect with, because they definitely know each other and definitely are working on some deals out there. So this is the first step was integration of the sales team. The next is moving everything over platform wise. That is happening as we speak, all being prepared, and that will actually occur between 4th quarter of this year and into 1st and possibly 2nd quarter of next. So that's moving everything, unplugging it basically from the Securian platform and plugging it back into the standard program, standard platform. There will be no blackouts, no repapering as far as we know at this point, no financial impact to that at all. We're both on the same platform called Omni. So literally imagine a USB unplugging, plugging it back in. That's what's going to happen. So more to come on that. A lot of folks here have gone through migrations like this in the past. And the one thing that we are hearing from them is that we will be over communicating. So if it goes, I believe there's even a communication coming out this week about it. So you're going to hear a lot about it, almost probably to an annoying side, but we feel that over communicating is key when it comes to a successful merger like this. So there's a couple topics when I built out this desk that I really wanted to touch on, and I'm about 15 minutes in, so I'm going to hit these pretty quickly. If you have not experienced the data process that the standard uses, it is foundational, right? It's foundational to what we do and foundational to what we believe in. Clean data, as important as it is in your personal life through your finances, right? It's even more important here in the retirement plan space. Things like accuracy, compliance, flawless process, and it's foundational to what we believe in. Keeps money, in this case, keeps money out of the plan that doesn't belong. Prevents issues, minimizes everyone's time plan at year end, et cetera, et cetera. It's really important. We use a system called participant data management. In essence, just like the little workflow on the screen in front of you, the data comes into us, it's scrubbed. We flag errors, we flag warnings. If, I've done this before where your Excel spreadsheet shifts and all of a sudden you've got Matt King's information next to Thomas Brennan's and et cetera, et cetera. It's a nightmare for a lot of extra work and just a really ugly situation. PDM helps manage that with over 100 different scrubs that we do to ensure that the data is accurate. So if you haven't experienced that, please reach out to your standard RVP and get a demo on that. There it is, 100 validations. Look at all the stuff. It just really hits on all the important things that keep a plan in compliance, more or less, and accurate. So this one is interesting. And John and I didn't talk beforehand, but I wanted to bring this up because it's pretty cool. So for our elite national TPA partners, which Definiti is in that group, we offer clients, advisors, to utilize the Standards 316 program as well. Now, the cool part of this is we obviously know that Definiti has a very robust 316 program. The cool part is your choice. That's not something that we say, well, you have to use ours or you can't use theirs. You have the option when partnering with both of us. You get two flavors of 316. You can use ours, you can use theirs. We recommend that you use one or the other, but we really don't care. So, and we don't care, and please don't take that as we don't care nonchalantly, but it's your choice, whichever fits best for you and your client. So again, this slide here, I'm not going to read through it, but it's very similar to what John was talking about. The last item that I have to talk about and to chat about is a pretty cool thing that we started down this path in 2015, 2016. It just came to life, I think, about 2 years ago. It's called Accelerate. So Accelerate is our small plan solution in the TPA market. And what we love about it, it's an automated solution. It is anything here at the standard between $0, so startups, up to 2 million, has to have a TPA. So that certainly shows that our commitment back to the TPA market. but it's, I don't want to call it self-service, but that's the phrase that comes to mind at this point. There's definitely people behind it, but it's very easy. It's designed to be very easy for advisors and TPAs to use. And this is a screen here that talks a little bit about it. Well, we do use self-serve pricing. So pricing it's grid pricing. So we can get that, you can get that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a streamlined process, plenty of communication in that. You get a bunch of emails saying, here's where we are, the quote's been here, the quote's accepted, waiting on this information, waiting on that information. We do offer 316 on that service. There's target date funds in that from an investment perspective with State Street. Optional ERISA 321, 338, et cetera, et cetera. So we can certainly share more of this. If you haven't had an experience using our Accelerate product, please do reach out through your Definiti sales contact, and they can get in touch with us, and we can absolutely make that happen and walk you through it and show you the pluses and the minuses. So a lot of information, and I'm 36 seconds or 40 seconds over, so I do apologize for that. But any questions?
You are forgiven, Matt.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. I don't see questions right now, but that doesn't mean we won't have questions later.
Okay.
We have found that people will submit a question after the fact. So please, if anybody on the call has a question about securing and what's going on, please feel free to write in. Thank you, Matt, for
Perfect. And I can send off any of those, the sales map and things like that to you, Elkie, and you can.
yes, we would love to
check it
have
out.
those.
I think we can do that. So,
At this
perfect.
point, thank you.
Thank you
At
for having us.
Yeah, thanks. At this point, I'll pass it over to Thomas for some closing comments.
Hey, thank you, Elkie, and well done, Matt. And just wanted to take a moment again just to thank our partners, Karen Zurishin from American Funds, Lynn Roy from T. Rowe Price, Kevin Spaeth from Empower, and Matt King from The Standard from joining us today. We hope that they found the content today timely and useful for your retirement practice management. And just a reminder, we do have great content to come in day 2 of the spring semester of the Definiti 2023 Retirement Academy tomorrow, where we'll be joined by our partners from the Principal, from Fidelity, Transamerica, and John Hancock. I believe, Elkie, you're going to put the sales map on screen for a moment. So as always, should you happen to have any questions regarding Definiti's partnerships with any of the folks who are presenting in tandem with us over the course of the Retirement Academy, or any other retirement consulting questions or needs that you have for clients or prospective clients, we currently have 11 folks on our external sales team across the country who stand at the ready to assist you, just like John Kelly from Chicago, who joined us in presenting on 316 today. So thank you again for taking time out to really sharpen your skill set, if you will, specific to your retirement practice management. We hope that providing items such as the Definiti Retirement Academy as thought leadership for you all is helpful not only to your clients, but to running your practice more efficiently. So thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.